the first 5 for LSU. It's Flau'Jae, it's MiKaylah, Johnson, the freshman, Kate Korbal, the sophomore post player, Jade Richard is the point. But you will see a next 5 coming in during the 5-minute media timeout, and a foul's called on LSU.
Well, if we had any questions about the pace of this game, it's been told in the first 40 seconds. Both these teams want to get up and down, and a good sign for Tulane to already be getting to the free throw line.
First point of the game is put in by the sophomore from China, Texas. As I mentioned, the freshman of the year in the American last year. Ashley Langford told us earlier today she battled through injury last year and still was the freshman of the year in the American. Looking forward to what she can do if she's fully healthy this year.
And Tulane coming out into this tandem matchup zone. They know they lack the size to really battle the bigs of LSU. Trying to make LSU beat them from the outside.
Williams challenged in the corner, can't get it, and then here comes Sneed. Tulane wants to go quickly, they want to score quickly. They got an open look, but couldn't get it to drop, and here comes Flau'Jae. Sadie Shores guarding Johnson as she brings it to the front court. Johnson has been red hot from outside the arc, maybe a little cooler inside, but knocks down that one for 2 in LSU's first points.
One thing that I think is really critical for Tulane is shot selection. If they take bad shots, it might as well be a turnover, and that's going to allow LSU to get out and run.
Sneed, defended by Richard. They get an open look for 3. Three-point shooting has been a struggle through the first 3 games for the Green Wave, and a foul is going to be called on Sadie Shores in the backcourt. 28% for Tulane so far from beyond the arc. Christie, 5 for 20 last time against North Florida.
And it's been the starts for Tulane that's really hurt them. Already, they've come out with far more energy than I saw in the first 3 games of this season. A good sign for the Green Wave.
Well, you play in front of 3,000 plus. You're going to be riding a little adrenaline, right?
I mean, if you're not, you shouldn't be playing the game.
Flau'Jae, she has not struggled from outside the arc. 10 of 16 in the first 4 games of the season from three-point land. She's got all 5 LSU points.
Partner, I don't mean to correct you, but that's now 11 of 17. And she only had 49 made all of last year. She's not just making them, she's efficient with them.
And she's good on the defensive end. That one goes off her foot, though, and it's going to be a turnover. And it'll be Tulane basketball.
Knows what to do with it.
Flau'Jae, a 4-year starter now for this LSU team. Another 3 attempted by Tulane. All 4 of their field goal attempts have been from beyond the arc. Williams, elite, silky shooter, cannot leave her open, and she knocks it down for 3. 8-0 run quickly for LSU.
It doesn't matter if it's a matchup zone or player to player. You have to stop the ball in transition.
There's the first 2-point attempt for Tulane. Good job on the save. I think it was the last touch by Flau'Jae. MiKaylah averaging 14 points a game. Good balance, of course, for this team. Averaging 114 points a game, 6 averaging in double figures through 4 games. Another 3-point attempt for Tulane. That one won't drop. 0 for 5 from beyond the arc. Flau'Jae, nice little fake to get free, and she'll earn a trip to the free throw line.
Eric, we saw it in LSU shoot-around this morning, a very business-like approach. Got done almost 20 minutes before the clock was off because they were so dialed in, and you're seeing that against this kind of hostile crowd right now. They're ready to roll.
Kim, she's always happy, but there's different levels of happy, and she was so happy with shoot-around, wrapped it up early, and she said that's what it's been like with this team so far this season. They come in, they're obviously talented, they do their business, they do it right, and when it's done right, we wrap up early.
I got to tell you, she needs to bottle that because most coaches don't get to experience that. She says this team has high ball IQ. There's no drama with this team, and it's the most competitive crew that she's had while she's been in Baton Rouge.
And when you bring freshmen in like MiLaysia Johnson from Shelbyville, Kentucky, that will raise up the level of intensity. There you see Johnson averaging 13.5 points a game and 7 rebounds a game so far in her young career.
We talk so much about the veterans and Flau'Jae and MiKaylah Williams, but I got to tell you, the young lady, MiLaysia Johnson, has grabbed my attention in the biggest way. It doesn't matter if you're checking her on a box out. her vertical and her explosiveness is something special to watch. It's going to be a real challenge for Tulane tonight to keep her off the glass.
Dylan Hanna just into the game, picked up the foul, battling inside with Johnson, who makes both free throws. 11-0 run. Pressure after the made free throw for LSU. Broken nicely by Sneed, but not all the way through. Flau'Jae Johnson got a piece. Another three-pointer on the way. Another miss, this time by Brown, who follows her miss. And that's the impact of the transfer from Notre Dame. Kate Koval gets her sixth block of the season. It'll be Tulane basketball.
You got to read Kate Koval there manning the paint.
Speaking of reading, Flau'Jae had the read on the inbound pass. Unselfish play, dropping it to the freshman for two. Timeout called by Tulane. 13-0.
They can beat you with the bigs. They can beat you in transition. And you saw the number of second chance points. They're also dominating the offensive glass. First in the nation with 24 O boards a game.
Then on the defensive end, Tulane is 0 for 8 so far, and the defense continues to shine for LSU. Flau'Jae to the basket. Finger roll, counted and one.
Her up here this evening.
About the only thing Flau'Jae hasn't done right so far is make all her free throws. She's 1 for 3, but she has 3 steals so far. And here's another turnover by Tulane. That's tipped out of bounds, and it should be LSU basketball. Substitution for Tulane. Tamia Robinson will come on. They already have Cece Mays on the floor. That's a good sign. Cece, the grad student from Tampa, played at Marshall the last 4 seasons. Didn't play against North Florida rather. She's out there right now, number 3, guarding Williams.
Cece Mays is such an energy player for the Green Wave. Just gives everything she has when she steps on the floor. And you see the switch where now she's matched up with the post player.
Out to MiKaylah Williams. Williams tried the cross-court pass. Jada Richard didn't get to her. Daniel all the way for 2. After missing their first 9 field goal attempts, Tulane finally gets one down at the basket. LSU answers right back. Clock is coming down to 5 minutes. That means this first 5 is going to be replaced by the next 5 for LSU. It's a foul on Tulane, and that opens the door for this next wave of LSU players to come on the floor.
Well done, partner. Well done. I talked to Kim Mulkey today, and I said, this is what I see in the team. First of all, it's the best that you've had since you've been in Baton Rouge. She didn't disagree with me. But I said, you have such a margin for error now because of this bench. And she couldn't say enough good things about the bench. She said every one of these players are selfless. We have competitive practices because everybody wants to play. And that's almost 58 points a game that the bench is averaging.
Well, it's with an asterisk today. It's not the 5 in for the 5 starters because there was a 5th team foul on Tulane. So Maya Joyner has to wait for the shooter, Koval. If she makes this one, then there'll be the substitution. And now the 5 starters, or the first 5, are on the bench. And we talked to Kim Mulkey about that today. Was this in the works? She goes, it just happened. We played the 5, then we brought in the next 5. It just fits right now for this group. There's no drama. That's the phrase you used before. And she said, don't worry about who's starting. You're going to get your minutes. And everybody seems to be happy right now, spreading the wealth and spreading out the minutes. And that's going to be a foul on Joyner. So it is Joyner, Grace Knox, a freshman, Bella Hines, a freshman, who come on. Kaylin Gilbert, a senior, and MiLaysia Fulwiley, the transfer from South Carolina, the junior, the 5 who come on the floor.
Eric, I think when Kim Mulkey goes to the bench that this crew might be even better defensively, and that's saying a lot. And mainly because the young lady you're seeing on the screen right now, in MiLaysia Fulwiley, she can dictate an offensive player like few can in our game.
Offensively, by the way, Fulwiley is the leading scorer on this LSU team. That's going to be a foul called on Tulane. Gilbert taking the contact. Fourth turnover for Tulane, averaging 17 turns a game so far this season. On average, LSU forcing 25 turnovers a game. Here's Fulwiley. Looks for Gilbert. Gilbert's been trying to find her offense a little bit. Knox, good-looking player on the inside. Turnaround won't drop. Joyner, good rebounder, transferred in from ECU with the rebound. And second chance here, Fulwiley. That won't drop. Another chance.
Tulane is turning to rebound versus putting a body on someone, and LSU's feasting on the offensive glass.
Gilbert, nice feed down to Joyner for the two. 21-4 LSU on top in the first. And another turnover for Tulane. LSU possession.
We've talked about the talent. We've talked about the chemistry. We've talked about the unselfish play. Gilbert off the bounce, pulls the defender up, realizes that she's got Joyner open on the block.
Three-pointer for Fulwiley. Little wave to those wearing olive and blue in the crowd here at the Devlin Fieldhouse. There's that Fulwiley defense on display, trying to make it tough. Another three launched, another three missed. Rebound for Bella Hines. Gilbert gets fouled by...
No, 3 seconds.
3 second violation. Thank you, Christy. So turnover for LSU. Robinson, defended by Fulwiley. On the switch, throwing up and off the mark. Gilbert with the push the other way. Went almost a little too quick. Forgot the basketball for a split second. Doesn't forget how to score, though, and draws the contact. A chance for a three-point play.
It's touch off that glass.
LSU on the season shooting 56% from the field. They're at 64% here in the first quarter. And shots like that from Gilbert with a high degree of difficulty even dropping right now for the Tigers.
And as we've seen LSU throughout this early part of the season, on a made free throw, they're extending into some full court pressure.
12-0 run now for LSU. A little too aggressive from Fulwiley. She gets called for the foul. So Tulane scored the game's first 2 points. LSU went on a 15-0 run. Tulane got a field goal, and LSU is now on a 12-0 run. Sneed. That's going to be a traveling violation. Turnover number 6 in the first quarter for the Green Wave.
I mean, the only positive in the turnovers, the last 2 turnovers, that dead ball. So they can at least try to get set up in defense. And Tulane now extending into the three-quarter court pressure.
You are such a glasses half full person sometimes.
Well, I mean,
the silver lining in turnovers.
I think the game of basketball is about runs. And Tulane, I'm starting to see a little bit of frustration. They've got to stay the course. But I'll go back to what I said early in this game. Shot selection is key for Tulane.
Challenge shot there. Joyner with the rebound. 2:15 to go in the first quarter.
MiLaysia Fulwiley waving her arms on the sideline trying to get the ball.
Gilbert thought she was fouled. Gilbert's going to come out of the game a little too out of control. Fulwiley hung in the air, but good finish there. Tulane gets their second field goal. CC Mays averaging 12.5 points a game in the first couple of games of the season. Here's Knox, turns to face and knocks down the short jumper. Grace Knox, the freshman from Las Vegas, averaging 11 points a game. That's the 6th player in double figures for LSU.
She has such touch. She has that reverse pivot face up and can beat you off the bounce. She's a matchup issue for teams.
Good hustle play by Mays just to win that battle for the rebound, and then a foul is called. That's some positive stuff there for Tulane as Mays, as you mentioned, can bring some of that energy, brought some grit on the boards.
Well, Tulane came in tonight averaging 17 offensive rebounds a game, and it was interesting in shoot-around today. Didn't matter if it was a make or a miss. Their post players have to go up and put the ball back in, and I asked Ashley Langford about that. and she just said, we expect to get offensive rebounds. We expect to get second chance opportunities.
Last year, the Green Wave in Langford's first season went 17-13, 9-8 in the American. Her 5th year overall as a head coach. 3 seasons at Stony Brook before coming to her alma mater. Divine Burridge, freshman from Davenport, Iowa, on the floor, coming in for Gilbert's. Freshman's got the ball right now.
So just some token three-quarter court pressure to try to slow LSU down.
Fulwiley running out of room on the baseline. Turned it over. 5th turnover for LSU. Has not been perfect for the Tigers here in the first quarter, but the scoreboard ultimately tells the story. That's off the mark. Last touch by Tulane, LSU basketball. First quarters have been a struggle so far for Tulane this season. Outscored by 19 in the first quarter, giving up an average of 23 points per game in the first. Struggling from outside the arc tonight. 0 for 10 on threes. Final minute of the first. Joyner inside.
Give Bella Hines all the credit for that. Just attack the zone by seeing the weak side. Great pass.
Fulwiley picks the pocket, goes in for 2. Shot clock is off. Marshall, the freshman, they play on after the contact. Second chance here for Sneed.
Tulane needs to take the last shot here.
Sneed runs into trouble, gave it up in time. Somehow it ended up in the hands of Jordan Weaver. Fulwiley from half court at the buzzer, and that will do it for the first quarter.
There was a little bit of frustration. And the one thing about LSU with the depth, they just keep taking it up to another notch, because they're not getting tired.
So the original starting 5, the first 5 back on the floor now for LSU to start the second quarter. And it starts with a turnover by Tulane. That is their 8th so far.
I do think one thing Tulane can do with Mabry, because she's got three-point range, and Koval is a little antsy on coming all the way out right now, is get her in some screening action, let her do some popping. But one thing I don't think Tulane should keep doing is living by the three-point shot.
Williams. That's going to be short. Koval, good fight for the rebound, and a turnover, traveling violation called on the sophomore.
LSU realizes that Tulane's switching those on-ball screens, and that's why MiKaylah Williams just rejected it and went baseline. Something to watch is how does LSU try to exploit the switches, and how is Tulane going to try to exploit the switches from LSU?
Here's Sneed, who was a 6-time freshman of the week in the American last season. Opening weeks of her sophomore campaign. See if Tulane gives up on trying three-pointers after going 0-4 in the first quarter. On the drive, the miss, pulled down by LSU. Richard transition 3. Jade has been trying to find her shot. 3 of 19 now from outside the three-point line to start the season. Open 3. Sneed with the rebound. Player slow to get up for Tulane. It's Amira Mabry, their leading scorer and rebounder, number 23. The foul's going to be called. That's her second personal foul. Friday night on ESPN, top 20 matchup in women's hoop. Jazzy Davidson, 11th ranked USC, will take on Hannah Hidalgo, the nation's leading scorer, and 24th ranked Notre Dame. Friday, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on ESPN, also on the all-new ESPN app.
Tulane going to some player-to-player now, maybe with the 2 fouls. Both the bigs for Tulane now, both with 2 fouls.
Williams knocks down the field goal. 5 points for MiKaylah. Flau'Jae Johnson leading the way for LSU with 10. Sneed rolling to the basket, unable to finish was Mabry. And it will stay Tulane basketball. Jada Brown coming back on for Tulane. Fulwiley will come in for Richard. So different little look here for LSU with Fulwiley now at the 1 for the Tigers with this group.
Well, and Kim Mulkey has done this as well, because she is really trying to see which lineups play best together. And so, yes, Fulwiley has been on the floor with MiKaylah Williams as well as Flau'Jae Johnson.
Flau'Jae has just got it dialed up defensively tonight. She got the block shot. Still with Tulane, and they finally make a three. After going 0 for 12, they knock down a three-pointer with the freshman Marshall getting it to go. Fulwiley answers back quickly. Sneed. Back outside to Mabry. It'll be LSU basketball.
MiLaysia Fulwiley got popped in the face. She's trying to shake it off right now.
Fulwiley went for 22 last time against Charlotte in 16 minutes. She's the only Tiger who has gone for 20 or more this season, and she's done it twice. So give you an idea how balanced the scoring is. You don't have one player just piling up all the points. They are certainly spreading the wealth.
And I asked Kim Mulkey about the leadership role, and she immediately said Flau'Jae Johnson is leading this team, and she's scoring.
By example or verbally or both? Because
both. I mean, she's always had the work ethic. But she also said MiKaylah Williams' leadership role has evolved. She said because MiKaylah has a lot of awards, but she does not have a championship. And so MiKaylah is so much better on the defensive end. Kim Mulkey said she's actually the glue of this defense, which I thought was a high compliment for MiKaylah Williams.
Fulwiley with the steal, works with Johnson. Fulwiley with the finish. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and a block in her 8 minutes so far tonight.
That is most players' stat line at the end of a game, playing 40 minutes. Sorry, when you talk about Flau'Jae, when you talk about MiKaylah, the numbers are just as good as a year ago, and they're playing at least 12 minutes less.
Fulwiley reads it, gets the steal, and gets 2 more. Now, Flau'Jae may have 12 points in 9 minutes. MiLaysia Fulwiley has 11 points in 7 minutes. Tulane with the answer.
What a pass.
Long pass. Fulwiley, Flau'Jae with the finish. And the biggest cheerleader in the building was Kim Mulkey, her head coach, who let MiLaysia hear it.
That is the point guard in Kim Mulkey, who wants her team to get out and run. She appreciated the pass.
Johnson with the steal to Fulwiley. No look, over the back. Williams for 2. Highlight reels filling up quick here in New Orleans. Answer by Jada Brown. Quickly into the front court. Flau'Jae. Zakaya Koval lost the handle, but she's not going to give up on the play. Dives on the floor. Numbers back the other way. Fulwiley's the player back, and she may have gotten a piece of that one. It'll be too late. She put it right there.
LSU football might want to be looking at MiLaysia right now.
That's Daniel with the 2 for Tulane. As the Green Wave try to settle things down, Hines quickly back the other way, and she'll earn a trip to the free throw line. Bella Hines, very gritty player who's not going to back down from attacking the basket. She'll go to the line to shoot a couple. Foul on Daniel, her first, as the freshman from Albuquerque will go to the line. Another one to come. Wednesday night on ESPN. It's an NBA doubleheader, 7 Eastern time. KD and the Rockets will be in Cleveland taking on Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs. Then at 9:30, the Knicks are in Dallas against Cooper Flagg and the Mavs. NBA Countdown crew tips off coverage at 6:30 Eastern time. By the way, the Pelicans are playing across town. I was told that in the secondary market, the get-in price was twice as much here than it was at the Pelicans game to try to get the tickets to this sold-out event.
Women's basketball, baby. You sound surprised, Derek. I'm just saying.
Hines made some contact there. Need to get it over. They do just in time, and it drops. Good moments here for Tulane. Tried to answer back here after falling behind big. Still a lot of time to go in the first half. More than 4 minutes left before halftime.
Well, already 11 second quarter points for Tulane when they were held just to 10 in that first quarter. They're settling in now.
First time Tulane has scored on back-to-back possessions today. Can they make it 3 in a row? They can. This is the best that Tulane has looked by far all night. 8 points now for the freshman Marshall.
And the thing I like about Marshall's threes, coming off ball reversal, coming off of kickouts when she is set and the rest of the offense is set.
And a turnover. 9-1 run right now for Tulane. Richard picks it up off her knee, but over to Kaylin Gilbert.
LSU's got numbers.
Gilbert will take it herself, can't get it. Look who's on the glass, though. The freshman with the follow, Grace Knox.
We'll talk more and more about this freshman class, but they have come in college ready. They fear nothing.
Foul on Richard. Jordan Weaver played at Queens University in Charlotte the last 3 seasons. Back on the floor now for Tulane. Weaver will trigger the inbound. Tulane has made 5 of their last 7 field goals. Remember, in the first quarter, they were 3 of 19 from the field. Joyner got a hand on it.
I think
7 to shoot.
Really important for Tulane to meet passes. LSU's been looking to shoot the gap every time.
Great defense. Richard and a shot clock violation. Richard and Hines teaming up to force the turnover. Robinson will check out. Kendall Sneed back on for Tulane. So it's Richard, Knox, and Hines. Joyner and Gilbert, the 5 on the floor right now for LSU.
Tulane not only shooting better, but taking better shots as a result in the second quarter, and the points are coming.
Richard gets that to drop. First points for the sophomore from Lafayette, Louisiana. This all Louisiana showdown between Tulane and LSU. LSU's won the last 4 meetings in the series. That's going to be Gilbert getting called for the foul.
I think what we're seeing a little bit in the second quarter from LSU is they're just going for steals versus just containing the ball handler. And I talked to Bob Starkey before the game, associate head coach for LSU, and he said LSU was concerned about the dribble penetration ability of Tulane. He said it'll be a test. If we can contain their dribble penetration, it bodes well for us the rest of the year.
On the baseline, out of bounds play, worked inside to Dylan Hanna. Second season with Tulane. Good presence on the inside for the Green Wave.
Hannah came in tonight averaging half a point for every minute played, and she's been limited because of injury. I think she's just going to get better and better in the next couple of weeks as she really gets into game mode.
Off the miss, Sneed answers back. Guess what? Tulane has played LSU even here in the second quarter. 19 all in the quarter. 14-5 burst here by the Green Wave. Richard, count it, and the foul.
That's a big bucket for LSU, but this is where I want Richard to be the epitome of a point guard. She has so many.
Jada trying to find her shot, 2 for 3 today after going 0 for 8 last time out against Charlotte. You know, LSU takes a lot of free throws. They were 37 of 46 against Charlotte. Transition 3. That's off the top of the backboard. You were saying something about shot selection, I believe, a moment ago.
Well, it's 2-on-1. Go at the rim there. Get high percentage.
Inside of 90 seconds to go here in the first half. Sneed, the kick out. Daniel takes it to the basket, gets it to go, and the foul. Kenija Daniel a chance for a three-point play. Kenija, Chipola College last season, a National Junior College Player of the Year, averaged better than 19 points a game, went for a team-high 20 against North Florida last time out for Tulane. LSU will bring Megan Yarnovich on, the freshman from Potomac, Maryland. She'll play in the post. And she ripped. First team all-conference in the American last year. MiLaysia Joyner finishes the three-point play. She's got 7. Flau'Jae Johnson leading the way with 14. Fulwiley with 11 for LSU. Marshall with 8, leading Tulane in scoring. Final minute, second quarter.
Jonovich with a switch on to Sneed.
And Sneed couldn't connect, threw it away. LSU basketball. Richard at the point. Divine Burridge on the floor. Burridge, that's a tough one, but it's controlled by Hines. Scramble for it, and a timeout is called by LSU. And we'll take the timeout as well. LSU 58 on the board late in the first half.
Richard had Joyner on the block with a seal, and she threw it away.
9 turns for Kim Mulkey's team. In the second half, I look forward to your full breakdown of each item on Kim's outfit today.
Is it fruit?
I see, like a Mardi Gras umbrella. I mean, we're in New Orleans, right?
We are.
Second half. Save that for the second half. Shot clock and game clock just about synced up, and Richard gets a little too aggressive and gets called for the foul.
I'd say handsy.
14th foul, so LSU had one to give if that was the choice, but I'm just reading the body language and the instructions on the sideline saying they didn't want that.
Teachable moment.
Fulwiley in for Richard, who goes to the bench with 2. That's knocked out of bounds. Fulwiley got a hand in there.
Every fundamental you're taught as a young ball handler needs to come into play if MiLaysia Fulwiley's defending you. You got to go triple threat. You got to be strong with the ball.
Fulwiley got a hand in there. Picked up by Tulane. Plenty of time left. They look for the corner 3. Count it, and the foul. That's the way to end the half for Tulane. A chance for a 4-point play. Daniel.
Want to foul a 3-point shooter in the biggest way.
So with 1.6 to go, chance for the 4-point play. LSU does bring on Flau'Jae Johnson and MiKaylah Williams. Koval coming on as well. So they'll look for something quickly here as Daniel heads to the free throw line. Off the miss. Joyner with the heave. Got a lot on that one. And that will do it for the
a game. Held to 2 in the first half.
Fulwiley getting the start here in the second half for LSU at the point. Koval lost the handle. Williams. Flau'Jae Johnson. Mecaillah Johnson looking for the post up, now looking to set the screen. Kick to the corner. Fulwiley can't get the 3, and Sadie Shores has the rebound. Sneed, defended by Johnson. Trying to get around the freshman. Now on the switch, Fulwiley. Fulwiley got a hand on it, and Fulwiley's got the steal. All the way to the basket for 2. 13 points now for MiLaysia Fulwiley.
The switching by LSU is preventing Tulane from being able to turn the corner and get downhill consistently.
Soares quiet in the first half. Good shooter, knocks it down for 3. Flau'Jae back behind the play, being helped up. There you see Williams and Koval going back to check on the senior, who is limping back up the court. Katie Koval just singled to Kim Mulkey saying, bring a sub in for Flau'Jae.
There's the assist from Koval.
So here's Richard. We don't have a good look at it, I'm being told by our crew, because it was tucked in the corner there.
she and MiKaylah Williams were so close together.
All right, now let's take a look here. Bottom left of your screen, and she rolled her ankle coming down on Soares at the very end, it looked like, right?
Yes.
Well, Jay's just going to head right past the bench and be attended to. We'll keep an eye on that runway next to the LSU bench and pass along any update if we get it about Flau'Jae Johnson. Soares, shut off by Koval. Back outside, open look for three is no good. And MiKaylah Williams has the rebound. So a foul called on Soares.
I would like to see LSU exploit some of these switches by the smaller guards of Tulane.
Fulwiley can't get it. Good position by Johnson on the inside, and Zakaya puts it in for two. Robinson off the Shores. Shores, and Williams gets called for the reach. Second foul on Mecaillah. Here's Dylan Hanna back on the floor for Tulane as Jada Brown checks out.
I like this lineup with Mabry and Hanna in the game together for Tulane.
Good move inside. Mabry, she's got four.
So, Eric, we've already seen two miscues early in the third quarter, miscommunication by the LSU players. They're no longer in front of their bench on defense.
Johnson draws the contact, and she earns a trip to the free throw line.
I truly believe Zakaya Johnson's upside is tremendous. She reminds me of a great player that played under Kim Mulkey at Baylor by the name of Nina Davis. And I asked Kim about that today, and she said just as athletic, just as good of a rebounder, but she said Johnson's got a way better shot.
Averaging 13.5 points a game so far. She's got 8 tonight after making a couple free throws. The foul on Mabry was her third personal. She'll stay on the floor here for Tulane. Robinson. 7.5 to go, third quarter. Tulane jumped out to a 2-0 lead, but then LSU went on a 15-2 run. Fulwiley knocks it right back. Still Tulane basketball.
Tulane has had success when they can get one dribble past their defender, using a ball fake, using whatever, and then things open up for them with a dribble penetration to kick.
Richard gets hands in again. She's been effective defensively. Up ahead to Williams. Can't drop, but guess who's there? Johnson into double figures with 10. Fourth LSU player to reach double figures. Marshall's had a good touch tonight. She's their leading scorer with 11. 3 of 5 from outside the three-point line. The rest of the team is 3 of 18 on threes. Joyner in the low post is fouled. Hanna will pick it up. That's her third. So Mabry with 3, Hanna with 3.
I like Joyner's physicality in the post. She is looking for contact when she gets the ball in the low post.
Johnson checks out as Grace Knox comes on for LSU. Jada Brown back out. Joyner off on the first. Reminder, Friday night, top 20 showdown in women's hoop. Jazzy Davidson, 11th ranked USC. Hannah Hidalgo, 24th ranked Notre Dame. 6 Eastern time, 3 Pacific on Friday. Also, you can catch it on the all-new ESPN app. Irish looking for a bounce-back performance after losing to Michigan big by 39. Michigan up to 6th in the latest AP Bowl. LSU holding tight at number 5, taking on Tulane in New Orleans tonight. Joyner got a hand on it to Williams. Look at the speed by Fulwiley. Can't get it to drop. Running back in the play, looking for the steal. Shores. Inside of 5 minutes to play, third quarter.
I would like some dribble penetration on Marshall's side, try to draw her defender and kick to her.
Robinson with the crossover. Good find. Good play by Robinson. And on the dribble, the dish to Hannah, who had the finish. Fulwiley perhaps looking to return the favor. Richard can't get it. Joyner can't track it down. And it'll be Tulane basketball when we come back. Green Wave, who left here in the third quarter after rolling her ankle, is back on the floor for the Tigers. What has been different since that first quarter slow start for Tulane that they played LSU just about even? Correction, they have played them even since the end of the first quarter after that basket. 7-0 run now for Tulane, Christy.
I think Tulane is starting to be able to get a step on dribble penetration, and that's opening up the offense, whether to go all the way to the rim or to knock down some threes. And the other thing is, I don't think LSU has been as locked in defensively as they were in that first quarter.
Marshall with 13 for Tulane, and after that hoop, and then it's answered by MiKaylah Williams now with 12. Marshall denied this time by Joyner. Shores. MiKaylah Williams there defensively, perhaps. Flau'Jae gets called for the foul. He's looking at the official with a who me look. Koval back on. Fulwiley back on. LSU Johnson back on.
One thing that's been different tonight for LSU is they came in, we talked about it, they were basically at 48% of the team scoring on the season. Right now, they have been held to just 28 points compared to the starters' 41.
Johnson got a hand on it. That three-pointer is no good. Fulwiley hangs in the air and rips down the rebound. Even after that rebound, Tulane is a +1 in rebounding margin. That's going to be knocked out of bounds. So that goes back to a point you made earlier, Christy, about Tulane's mindset for Ashley Langford. They think every rebound should be theirs, and they have done really well on the boards against LSU tonight.
I mean, that's a win in my mind as you continue to prepare for American play for Tulane. Average 17 offensive rebounds a night at 17.
Off the miss. There's Marshall running the floor. Johnson got back defensively. Shores can't get the follow, and Fulwiley comes away. 1-on-2 for Fulwiley, but she likes a challenge. And Tulane was ready to deny her. The foul called on Robinson.
Well, you said 1-on-2. She beat one of them to create the 1-on-1, and then she's just so good one-on-one action and able to get to the rim.
First one drops for Fulwiley, averaged just under 12 points a game. And 2 assists in 19 minutes a game off the bench for South Carolina. Once went for 24, which is a career high in a game against LSU. Now playing for LSU. Robinson trying to dribble out of trouble. Inside, nifty little move by Jordan Weaver, who has her second field goal. 4 points for Weaver.
Very calculated move by Weaver to get up and under Koval there to finish.
Flau'Jae comes up short. Got a hand in for the rebound, but it's controlled. Another rebound controlled by Tulane. They are now a +2 in rebounding margin against LSU here tonight, and Flau'Jae gets called for the foul. That's her second.
And if you're LSU, you do not want to put Tulane in the bonus, especially with this lineup on the floor. You've been able to be disruptive with these 5 on the court.
Approaching 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Marshall. Oh, she's having a great night. The freshman from Abernathy, Texas, is the leading scorer in this game. Fulwiley has 15 to lead LSU, but Marshall has 16 to pace Tulane. Williams answers back. 15 now for MiKaylah. Tulane put up a great fight against LSU last season in Baton Rouge. LSU won it by 11. Tulane had a big run to start the fourth quarter. They got it to a 7-point game. Could that happen here tonight in New Orleans? Johnson's got it to Flau'Jae Johnson. Couldn't get it, and then Flau'Jae's going to get called for the foul. Flau'Jae was 25 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. Anissa Morrow was 23 points, 16 boards. LSU's largest lead in that game was 23 in the third quarter. So Tulane hung around in that game, and they've got that vibe in this game here, playing on their home floor a year later.
When I asked Ashley Langford about that, I said, you played them so well a year ago. Are there things you can take from that game? And she said, not really. We're very different, and LSU's very different, and so much better even.
Mecailin Marshall's got 9 points in this quarter.
And I like that Marshall's played within herself. She hasn't forced action. She's had her feet set and ready.
See the numbers. I think they've made an adjustment to her scoring. She's at 17 right now. We'll see if we had a check on a 3 or a 2 right before halftime. We may have something similar here when we get to the quarter break to see if she made a 3 or a 2 earlier. For now, the score is 76-52. And Marshall's got 17 points. She's the only Tulane player in double figures, by the way.
Well, Ashley Langford, I think, doing a little offense-defense substitution here, getting the ball back after that turnover, gets Marshall back in the game.
Final minute of the third quarter. 18-18 is the scoring here in the third.
Tulane runs so many dribble handoffs that LSU has to be on point.
They were on point. They got the block, but Tulane not quitting on it. 3 on the shot clock, down to 2. The heave is off the iron. And Fulwiley's got the rebound, and she's going quickly. She's going real quickly. And she's got Flau'Jae Johnson for 2. Tulane answers back, looking for a quick one. That won't drop. Good job on the boards by Grace Knox to rip it away. And LSU will hold for 1 with the shot clock off.
I anticipate a 1-4 low set here for MiKaylah, just to be able to go one-on-one, or they may send a high on-ball screen for her.
Screen's going to be set by Knox. 2 seconds and 1. Williams is going to have to heave it up. Good if it goes. It won't drop. And that is the end of the...
And now they're the Grays from working with you.
But I know Lisa in this university meant so much to you as a player and as a person developing in your college years here.
I always say I have had the opportunities I've had because I was a Tulane student athlete, and I owe a lot to Lisa Stockton and everything that she did for me throughout my career.
Williams flips it over to Flau'Jae Johnson. Fourth quarter underway. Dropped off to Knox. Knox can't get the roll. Another rebound for Tulane. Here's CeCe Mays. Mays will try to pull up 3. That's off the mark. And the putback is good. Well, we talked about Tulane more than holding their own on the glass. They also have doubled up LSU when it comes to offensive rebounds, Christy.
18 already in this game, and that's got to make the Green Wave fans extremely happy because offensive rebounding is so much about effort.
Flau'Jae Johnson with the step back and drains it for 3. Look for Robin.
And she has picked up where she left off from the previous games, 2 of 2 from deep tonight.
Knox picked up her 3rd personal foul, and Robinson go to the line. I have one postscript on the Christy Tomascuddy
We
highlights.
really don't need it.
Paul Irvin, our producer, Adam Bryan, our director tonight, they did a great job. The last bucket, that was your last of that highlight. That was your last made basket in your college career. Did you realize that?
I did not. I really could not watch it. I was mortified.
It's going to take you a while to process
Yes.
that one. Nifty little turnaround. She does not look like a freshman. Mecaillah Johnson.
There's a lot of athleticism and skill on this LSU team, but I just got goosebumps when I watch the younger Johnson, Sanaya, because, again, it's that leaping ability. How many times have we seen her defend guards on the defensive end, and then she brings the ball up the floor as well.
Knox on the closeout, got the block. It will be Tulane basketball on the baseline with 13 to shoot.
Eric, something we've kind of missed in this, that's the 8th block for LSU tonight.
Up to 9 now. Remember, Flau'Jae had those early blocks, or early block to go with those steals in the first half. They've been disruptive. They get possession here with 8:08 to go in the fourth quarter. Blocking foul, count the basket, and a chance for a three-point play. 21 now for Flau'Jae. Her previous season high was 19. Career high is 27, by the way. Mabry picked up her 4th. Christie talked about the next level for Flau'Jae, in the words of Kim Mulkey, the leadership piece. And as a 4-year starter, you're on the floor a lot, and throughout your career, you're expected to see that leadership develop. But with this group, we talked about it before. Is it something verbal? Is it something by example? It's probably a combination of all those things.
I think what's always been remarkable to me about Flau'Jae Johnson is we know the music career that she has. We know her as a national champion as a freshman. But she has stayed hungry, and she has wanted to improve year after year after year. As many obligations as she had this summer, both from her personal music career as well as USA basketball, she traveled with a trainer all summer because she wanted to get better, and especially from deep already this season, it has paid off.
Off the LSU turnover, Tulane with it, with Robinson. Brown just scored previous trip. Robinson flips it up too strong. Ripped away by Hannah. MiKaylah Johnson with the rebound, and Johnson will put it on the floor.
She's taken point forward to a whole nother level.
Here's Williams. That's her spot. Can't get the baseline pull up to go, and the foul's going to be called on MiKaylah Johnson.
One thing I'm seeing when LSU's on defense right now, and Fulwiley's going out of the game, but she was going for steals. It seemed like every time she was on the on-ball. And that got her out of position a lot. And that was forcing a lot of rotations by the LSU defense.
Richard on the floor, guarding Sneed.
So many handoffs within this Tulane offense.
Daniel looking for her shot. Can't find it. LSU digging in on defense. 4 on the shot clock. Shores. Nice job with the shot clock set to expire. Sadie Shores gets it to go.
That was great defense by MiKaylah Williams. Just an even better shot by Shores.
5 points for Sadie, all in the second half. Johnson rejected by Hannah. 39 blocks last season. First block for Tulane tonight. It's Johnson at the free throw line. So they called a foul on Hannah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a clean block. MiKaylah Johnson can't drop it. And here's Hannah. Sneed directing traffic. Sophomore point guard. Hand off to Shores. Looking for Hannah on the inside. Throwing in the corner. Daniel. Good job by LSU again defensively. Tough shot. Won't drop. And here come the Tigers. Inside of 6 to play. Flau'Jae steps in. Can't get the 2. Flying in was Knox looking for the putback. And a foul is going to be called on Grace Knox.
That was a heck of a rebound by Knox. Went up. Unfortunately for her, she brings it down as she had the ball. Quick hands by Tulane.
That's 4 now on Knox. Kate Koval will come back in as Knox will go out. MiKaylah Williams also going out. Got the floor mopped up a little bit. And here comes Tulane. Inside of 6 to play. Tulane has outscored LSU by 1 in this quarter. 33-10 was the scoring in the first quarter. That's the difference in the game because the two teams have been even since then. And Tulane, one for Tulane, and they've got possession. Up the shores with Richard back. Daniel came in to try to make it a 2-on-1. Sneed too strong and knocked away by Gilbert. Gilbert splits defenders and puts it in for 2. So that gives LSU 88 points. Now 546 points in the first 5 games this season. That's the most in Division I in 25 years, as they try to score 100 for a 5th straight game. Koval touched it last. That'll get us to a timeout. Comes with 4:44 to go in the 4th, and LSU in front.
Most importantly, most dearly to me, that's my coach.
Mabry gets the basket out of the media timeout. She now has 6. Fulwiley back on the floor with Williams, Flau'Jae Johnson, Koval, and Richard. So the original starting 5 out there, with the exception, and that's knocked out of bounds, MiKaylah Johnson. We'll see Bob Starkey.
He was giving some instructional notes to Richard about that last possession.
You said that much more delicately than he did.
I'm not a coach.
Fulwiley trying to spin away, fed it inside. Koval couldn't hang on to it.
So I've seen 2 passes to Koval in this 4th quarter that didn't lead to baskets, and I think that's just going to be chemistry that has to evolve because they don't know how to feed her the ball yet. They don't know how to lead her to the basket.
You think that's something that will develop in time?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, we've talked about the platoon subbing that's transpired with LSU early in the season. When you do that, though, not everybody's playing with everyone equal amount. And the bottom line is right now is Marshall is playing her butt off for Tulane.
20 points now for the freshman, 88-69 with 3:45 to go. Fulwiley throws it up, count it, and 1. Chance for a 3-point play for MiLaysia. Fulwiley at the free throw line. Fulwiley got cleared out. Sneed throws it over to Shores. Back out to Shores. Tough pass to handle. Fulwiley's got it. And a foul's going to be called on Tulane's Kendall Sneed. All right, so I promised everybody for you to break down Kim's attire. We're going parasol here, right? I mean, these are
think so,
parasols, yeah. And parasols as seen from above as well.
Yes.
Very Mardi Gras. And we ask Kim, because we ask every, she's from Tickfall, right, Louisiana. How often did you come to New Orleans and Mardi Gras? She said, I went to Mardi Gras one time in my life. I almost laughed out loud, but I believed her.
Well, I think more importantly, our producer asked her today about the outfit. And she goes, it's going to be really tame.
Yeah.
Really
well,
tame.
by Kim's standards, it actually is.
When she walked away, I did say that because our crew is all men except for me. And I said, hey, guys, just so you're aware, Kim Mulkey tame is still a lot more than the rest of us.
Here's Sneed on the drive, the block from behind. Another block for LSU. That should give them 10 on the night. Johnson, and count it, and 1. The foul's going to be on Tulane, and a chance for a 3-point play for MiKaylah Johnson.
Once again, the point forward leading.
Offensive rebound. Joyner spins it up for 2. Well, the question now is, will LSU get to 100 again? Marshall transition 3. That didn't drop, but so much has for her tonight. Here's Mecaillah. Tried to drop it down to Fulwiley, and Tulane takes it away. Shores, no. Joyner, the rebound. Needs some help. Still needs help. Approaching 2 minutes to go.
Kim Mulkey telling Johnson to get away. She just wants MiKaylah to go one-on-one.
And down goes Williams. You see Williams and Flau'Jae Johnson and Mecaillah Johnson still on the floor. Fulwiley's played a lot of minutes tonight. I think Kim Mulkey's been thrilled with what she's seen with her team overall in the second half. They're going to win this game, but it hasn't been perfect.
I think they have a lot of film opportunities tomorrow, a lot of teaching moments that I think especially Bob Starkey's going to take advantage of from a defensive perspective. And credit to Tulane. A lot of teams would have just called it a day after that first quarter, and they have hung around, they've battled, and hats off to Mecailin Marshall. She has taken advantage of every opportunity given to her tonight.
Well, that's a rarity. Free throw miss by MiKaylah Williams.
Only her second miss on the season.
And she hates when that happens. 1 of 2. You know, much is made every year of LSU's early season schedule. And we brought it up with Kim Mulkey earlier today, and she's been very consistent. And she says she's been consistent since her Baylor days as a head coach. LSU, Baylor before LSU, she likes her players and herself to take the summer off, and they use the preseason and the early part of the schedule as a way to ramp up. And Houston Christian in southeastern Louisiana, Georgia Southern, Charlotte, those first few games of the season. But she makes no apologies for the schedule, and she thinks this is what works best for her and for her players. And it's hard to argue with her end-of-season results.
I just want to put a button on that. Selfishly, I would love to see them schedule a little bit harder than non-conference because I'm just a basketball fan. Who had to keep getting better.
Fulwiley, oh, she took that personally. Goes in, looks at Shores, can't get the finish. Got to watch it here. Sneed gets tangled up with Fulwiley. Fulwiley was real fired up on that defensive possession. One foul, and that sends Fulwiley to the free throw line.
There's a battle of the fans right now. LSU trying to take over Fogelman, and the Tulane fans not letting them do it.
100 again. In that championship year, they had one other 100-point game, and that was against Iowa in the national championship game.
You're a wealth of knowledge, partner.
They'll try in their next game against Alcorn State to make it 6 straight. That would match the Division I record, which is held by Louisiana Tech. And a player on that team was 5th time this season. And Joyner can't add to it. Well, it was 33-10, as we told you a few times after the first quarter. But since then, LSU has outscored Tulane by just 6. Tulane's next game, they'll be at North Dakota State and Fargo on Friday. Their first game away from the Devlin Fieldhouse this season.